Right, here again, not that one. Well, tonight is Monday evening and hasn't been much happening on the canoe over the weekend, because I've actually spent all weekend working on my camper van to get that ready for my upcoming trip. The good news is I've pretty much finished everything apart from the usual packing and sorting out food and what have you, so I can now get back on the canoe for a few days. Now, last video I did ask if anyone had any suggestions for a name, and somebody did kindly offer the name Beluga, as it was all white. Unfortunately, I had already rather spoilt that by applying some red oxide primer. so Beluga is out. But maybe it's red oxide, so maybe I can just call it Roxy or something similar. I am planning to paint this ruby red, so ruby's on the table as well. Or if anyone has another suggestion, then so be it. So it's because I haven't done anything since I think I put the last coat on last Wednesday. And since then it's just been sitting there, so it has thoroughly dried. So I've put a really thick coat on these stems because you can still see the lap in the canvas. So I'm now going to rub these ends down, and I'm hoping that I can rub this out with this coat, and then the whole thing needs another rub over. I should probably rub most of this off, and then I'm going to apply one more coat. This is some red oxide that I had, and I have, when I ordered the paint, I did receive some red oxide primer to go with that paint, so I should rub most of this off, then I'll use their red oxide, which will work with the top coat of the paint. So that's the plan. So yeah, so I shall do a bit of sanding, my favourite job. This watertite product does seem to be a bit nasty. It gives off some quite pungent fumes, and I'm not overly keen on the dust, so I'm now going to put on my air-fed mask. You know, got to be sensible with these things. Okay, we're back again. It is still Monday evening, and I have now got this sanded down to something approaching a smooth finish. The main reason I put this red oxide on was this watertite was just almost seemed impossible to get a smooth finish on it. So I thought I'd put a coat of this on, which would obviously fill in all the little sort of imperfections, and it has actually come up quite smooth. I'm having a bit of bother with the stems, and where I've been rubbing this down to try and make a nice crisp edge, I've gone back to the canvas in a few places, so I'm now going to have to put some more Zinsser watertite over this stem area again, but the rest I'm now going to give another coat of the other red oxide primer I've got, which matches the paint finish. So that's what I'm now going to do. I thought I had sort of got away with got away from some of the sanding, but it appears not. And as luck would have it, for my day job, there's a very old property in the village that I look after. It's about 2 or 3 weeks every year, working there just to keep on top of maintenance and keep the place going. And this week I am refurbishing all the sash windows, repairs and repainting. And as you can imagine, that involves a fair bit of sanding. So I just can't get away from sanding at the moment. So yeah, God, yeah. At least looking on the bright side, when I go on holiday, I am not going to be on a sandy beach. So I'll be in the trees and on the lakes. So thank God for that. Anyway, I'm going to crack on, and I will see you tomorrow night. Bye. Hello there. Well, as you can see, I am making some progress. The decks are now completely fitted. I've countersunk the screws, and they're completely in now, both ends. And this one I've sanded all the way down now. So, but it just needs a little bit more of a run over, but that's virtually there. What I'm doing now is making the inner gunnels so they're flush on the top, because they had a bit of a lean, particularly at the ends. Not so bad in the middle, so I've been planing those, and I'm now sanding them. Other thing I've done is I have trimmed off the canvas now, flush with the top of the shear plank. So once I've finished doing this sanding here, really one of the next steps is to start making the outer gunnels. So that's rather exciting, because we are rapidly approaching the end. I've also countersunk the screws holding the centre thwart on, so they're all done as well. So I'm just now in the process of making these level. Then I'm going to get my little 1/4 inch router out, and I'm going to put a round of a bit on, just round that corner off. Certainly on the top. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do at the bottom yet. I don't think I've got a router bit that I can use for that, but I might buy one, just so I can get that rounded off as well. I'll just show you what else I did. So last night I was rubbing down these ends, and I applied some more of the watertite on the ends here, because I wanted to get those nice and smooth. And tonight I've primed those, so these are now, well, the whole canoe now is primed. I'm not putting any more primer on. I've had one coat which I practically rubbed all off, and this is the second coat, so I should just nip this down with a bit of fine sandpaper, and then that's going to start straight on with the top coat. So, and that'll be it. 2, 3, 4 coats of top coat, whatever it takes to get a good finish. And what I'm going to do now on the inside is I am going to get some wood dye. I'm going to get some wood dye to darken this ash, all the ash. And then before I go on holiday, I'm going to put some more of the oil on the inside, like I did on the outside, and try and get this, it hasn't got a match, but just try and get it reasonably close. It'd still be nice to have a contrast there. And then whilst I'm away, that'll be able to soak in, and you know, when I come back it should all be ready to give this all a coat of Osmo, give the decks and the inner and outer gunnels a coat of Osmo, and then yeah, we'll be pretty much ready to jump on the water. So yeah, so she's looking grand, so I'm going to do a bit more. It's nearly 8 o'clock. Pretty much had enough. It's been very hot here today, very hot in fact, but you know, we are looking more like a canoe every time I do a video, so great. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers, bye. Welcome back. This is Wednesday evening and I've been on the canoe for a few hours tonight. So now decks are finally sanded, they're all good to go. I've levelled off the tops of these inner gunwales and I've now been run my round of a bit on the edges. So I just need to run a bit of sandpaper up and down there and then yeah, they're done. So I think I am now ready to start doing the outer gunwale. Yeah, this is it. So I've managed to lighten the canoe a lot, and that's about all the sawdust from the sandpapering. So yeah, so anyway, joking aside, that's it. So I'm going to clean everything up, give this a little light sand on these edges. I'm not going to do, because I need to get quite a lot of tools out to do the rebite on this gunwale, so I don't even saw and my router table and all that gear, so I'll leave that till Saturday. So it's already Wednesday. Tomorrow night I'll be editing the video anyway, so but I may be tempted to whiz a coat of the top paint on and see what that looks like, but you won't see it until till next week. So but yeah, so that's possibly my plan. I don't really think there's much else to add really. No, I mean it's mostly, yeah, I think we're just done what I've done. I've been just standing inside here on the edge as well, and just, you know, just trying to make sure everything's sort of fairly tip top as far as that goes. You know, I mean it is, I think the charm of these is that they do look, you know, they look sort of old as it is, you know, because of the ribs and everything else, and that's what really attracts me to it. So if everything is not 100% perfect, you know, I think that's just all part and parcel of the canoe. Because as it gets used, I'm sure there'll be knocks and scrapes, and it will look used, which I think will only enhance the appeal of it, to be honest. So I don't think I'm going to be overly gentle on it, apart from obviously not wanting to bang the cams into anything. But yeah, but that aside, so I will have a bit of extra time. So what I am going to do is, the next video will be the last one until after I go back from Sweden on the canoe. So as I've got a little extra time, I am going to go a complete list of all the stuff I've bought for this and what it cost. So then you'll have a good idea, you know, for if you want to decide that you want to build one as well. So that will all be on the next video. So yeah, and so that next one, which will be, I think this is 7, so the next one will be 8, and that'll be it until I come back. And I suspect all that'll be left is maybe, you know, a couple of coats of paint and sand and oil, you know, some oil finish. Whether I get any oil on the inside, I think I will get some oil on the inside before I go. Certainly I said I was going to stain these or colour these ash ribs to match this more, and I'm going to put some of the oil that I used on the outside on the inside, and I'll definitely do that before I go. So then when I come back, it will just be the Osmo. I'm definitely going to use Osmo oil as well, so I'll be putting the Osmo oil on everything, and yeah, possibly a bit of paint, and that will be it. Then I'll be hitting the river pretty sharpish. So anyway, that's good. So I will see you again next Friday. So see you later.